Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
Ma'am.
We were discussing about nucleus in our previous class. Hope you're remembering what are the points we discussed. Who will tell me the points we had discussed about nucleus in our previous class? And those who haven't turned their videos on, please do turn it on. Yes, who is going to tell me? Isha?
Ma'am.
Anybody? Yes, Lynette.
Ma'am, nucleus is generally spherical and it is located in the center of the cell.
Okay. Another point, Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, tell me another point about nucleus.
Ma'am, it acts as the control center.
It acts as the control center of all the activities taking place in the cell. Adikesh, another point.
A nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called the nuclear membrane.
Very good. And this nuclear membrane is provided with so many pores. Why the nuclear membrane is having pores, Pooja? Why do they have some pores in the membrane? Pooja, where are you? Pooja Menon. Why the nuclear membrane is having pores? It helps in exchange of... I'm not able to hear you, child. Tom?
It helps in the movement of materials between the cytoplasm
And the nucleus. Very good. And there is another spherical body which is present inside the nucleus. What do you call it? Isha, what do you call that small spherical body inside the nucleus? Do you know the answer? Nucleolus. And it performs the function of protein synthesis. It will perform the role of synthesizing protein. So we'll be learning more about nucleus. So let's go to the PPT. Children, again you can expect a power failure because now there'll be a connection change. Now it is on generator. Within a few minutes again there'll be a change. So that time also please pause the recording till I join. Okay, so nucleus, this we had already discussed, but still once again I'll explain. Inside the nucleus, as you can see in the picture, there are some thread-like structures. And you call these thread-like structures as chromatin fibers. You call these structures as...
Ma'am.
Oh, yes.
Ma'am, you took this.
I know, I told no, I have already taken, but to get the continuity, I will take it again. Only this slide. So some fibers you can find, and these fibers you call it as chromatin fibers. But at the time of cell division, when a cell is about to divide, this chromatin fibers will get condensed and they form what you call as chromosomes. So chromatin, when a cell is not dividing, it will be the genetic material will be in the form of some thread-like structures. You call it as chromatin fibers. But when the cell is about to divide, they will change. They will change its structure, or they will form, or they'll become condensed and compact, and they form what you call as chromosomes. You can compare these two. So here in the picture, you can see chromosome as well as chromatin fibers. So chromatin fibers are just like an entangled mass of thread-like structures, whereas they become short, compact, and condensed when they form chromosomes. And chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. Here you can see in the picture, chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. It's having a double helical structure. It looks like a spirally twisted staircase or spirally twisted ladder, as you can see in the figure. So DNA is having a double helical structure. It appears to be, or it looks like a helically twisted ladder or staircase. And gene, you have heard about genes also. So a portion of a segment of DNA is known as gene. It's very clear from the figure. So once again, I will repeat, when a cell is not dividing, the genetic material will be present in the form of thread-like structures, and you call it as chromatin fibers. But when the cell is about to divide, some changes will happen in these chromatin fibers. They'll become compact, condensed, and they form structures known as chromosomes. And what are these chromosomes made of? They are made of DNA and proteins. Then what are genes? A piece of or a segment of DNA, you can call it as gene. See here I've shown two genes. A particular portion, it will form one gene. Another segment will form another gene, like that. So a functional segment or a segment of DNA is known as gene. And what is the role of chromosomes? They carry genes and help in the inheritance of characters from the parents to the offspring, or else they help in the transfer of characters from parents to offsprings. So it is because of these chromosomes and genes that we have many characters of our parents. You might have heard your relatives saying that you resemble your father, your complexion is like your mother, or you are having big eyes like your mother. So you might have heard all those comments. So why do you resemble your parents? It is because of these chromosomes. So with the help of the chromosomes, these features will be inherited by us, or these features will be transferred from the parents to their offsprings. Okay, and here this is the point which I missed out. Here I've shown the picture of school website. You can see just a symbolic representation of school website. So chromosomes can be compared to the school website. So throughout we had been comparing the different components of cell to a counterpart there in our school. So chromosomes we are comparing to school website because you know that all the important information related to a school will be uploaded in our school website. All these information will be stored in our school website. Similarly, all the genetic information, all the necessary information is being stored in the chromosomes. Okay, so that is why we are comparing chromosomes to a school website. So this example, it is not for you to write down in your exam paper, just to make you understand and to make you recollect it easily. I've given the example, but don't write all these in your exam paper when something is asked about the chromosome. Okay, chromosomes store all the necessary information related to a cell. Similar to that, a school website stores all the information regarding our school. So now moving on to the next slide. Genes, as I told, these are the functional segments of DNA. A segment of DNA with a specific function. So genes are the functional segments of DNA. We can even call them as the units of inheritance. It is with the help of these genes present on the chromosome that the characters are transferred from the parents to the offsprings. So here, just to make you understand the relation between nucleus, chromosome, DNA and gene, I have given a picture over here. Now we'll see that. See, in the first figure you can see a cell, and in the cell you can see the brown colored, it is shaded in brown color, that is a nucleus. So in the next figure you can see an enlarged view of the nucleus. Inside the nucleus you can find chromosomes. Now these chromosomes are again magnified, and the chromosomes, upon magnification, you can find they are made up of DNA, a double helical structure. And again inside the DNA, so when it is further magnified, you can find the gene, a segment, a piece of or a portion of DNA. Okay, so gene is present on DNA, DNA is found on chromosome, and chromosome is there in the nucleus, and nucleus is found inside the cell. Any doubt? Do you have any doubt, children? I can't hear you. Are you saying something?
Ma'am, so in each blood cell, DNA and all will be there.
See, apart from blood cell, red blood cells, there won't be any DNA. You have heard about DNA fingerprinting and all? DNA test?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But for DNA test, we cannot take red blood cells. All the other cells in your body will have this DNA. But why red blood cells are not having DNA? Because they don't have nucleus. Okay, so except our red blood cells, any other cell can be taken. All the other cells will be having DNA. But red blood cells, they lack nucleus. Okay, Isha asked me the doubt, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And when we carry out DNA test, for we can take sample of any cells from our body, but red blood cells won't be taken because see, in blood you have different type of cells, but red blood cells will be avoided because they will not have nucleus. Without nucleus, there won't be any genetic material or DNA. Anyways, once again, genes are the functional segments of DNA. They are the units of inheritance in living things. These 2 points we already discussed. Now I'm going to introduce you to a new term, protoplasm. So this term you're not familiar with. You know what is cytoplasm, but not protoplasm. Am I right? Anybody can say what is meant by cytoplasm? Anybody? You want me to call out your names?
It's a jelly-like substance
Ah.
present between the cell membrane and nucleus.
Very good. It's a jelly-like substance which is present between Okay. So we were discussing about cytoplasm and protoplasm. So Advait told that cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance which is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane. Okay. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance which is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane. Then what is protoplasm? Protoplasm is cytoplasm plus nucleus. Cytoplasm, as you know, it's a jelly-like substance which is present between the nucleus and cell membrane. But when nucleus is also joined with cytoplasm, it forms protoplasm, or else you can say it is the entire content of a living cell, the living component of a cell. So different ways you can say protoplasm, the living substance, the entire content of a living cell. All those are definitions for protoplasm, or else you can simply say nucleus with the cytoplasm, or nucleus and cytoplasm together we call as protoplasm. So it can be asked for 1 or 2 marks, distinguish between cytoplasm and protoplasm. Then what you should write? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance which is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane, whereas protoplasm is cytoplasm and nucleus together, or else you can say it is the entire content of a living cell or the living substance of the cell. So anyhow you can say, hope you have understood the difference. When you say cytoplasm, it is not, nucleus is not included in cytoplasm. It is just the jelly-like substance present between the nucleus and the cell membrane. But when you say protoplasm, it includes both. Any doubt? Any doubt? Before I proceed, I just want you to give me the difference between cytoplasm and protoplasm. Lakshmi, why so many videos are off, children? You want me to post all these names in the group? I don't mind. Even if my hand pains, I don't bother. I will post all the names. Who's going to say Lakshmi? Lakshmi. Lakshmi CV.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you were waiting for the initial to be called, no? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me first of all, what is cytoplasm? Hmm.
Cytoplasm.
Advait told no just a few minutes back. Or you say protoplasm then?
Protoplasm is a living substance of the cell.
What all comes under protoplasm?
It includes
I
nucleus
think you were
and
busy with some
cytoplasm.
other work. Suddenly your relay something has happened to your relay. You were not listening in the class, Lakshmi, or you didn't expect the question. What happened?
Ma'am, I lost my network.
Okay.
Then
But
when I
cytoplasm we
joined,
learned in our
suddenly
last class,
stopped the
no?
screen
Lakshmi,
sharing.
but cytoplasm we learned in the previous class, not today. Okay, anyways, repeat. What you said about protoplasm, you may repeat. Come on.
A protoplasm is a living cell.
Living cell. Living
Protoplasm is a living
substance.
substance
Okay.
of the cell.
It includes dash and dash.
Cytoplasm and nucleus.
Very good. It includes
Cytoplasm and nucleus.
cytoplasm and nucleus. And what is meant by cytoplasm? What is meant by cytoplasm? Who is going to say? Nivedya, what is cytoplasm?
It is the jelly-like substance that is present between the cell membrane and the nucleus.
Yes. Lakshmi, now you are remembering what is cytoplasm?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat?
Yes, ma'am. It is a jelly-like substance present between nucleus and cell membrane.
And cell membrane. What did we learn about chromosomes? Nandana, what did we learn about chromosomes? What do they carry? Chromosomes carry?
Ma'am, it carries DNAs and protein.
Chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins, but they carry
Genes.
Yes, they carry genes. So what you said is, what are chromosomes made of? Chromosomes are made of DNA and proteins, but they carry genes. And what function do they perform? What function do they perform? Who will tell me the answer? Sridev?
They will help in the inheritance of characters
Inheritance
of
of
the
characters. Very good. So they will help in the inheritance of characters from the parents to the offspring. So we'll continue. And see, children, I've told you earlier also to turn your videos on. Otherwise, I will post your names in the group. So afterwards, don't feel bad. Now, the next topic what we are going to learn is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So the major differences I have listed out. So one by one, we will see the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So I'll give you an example so that you will understand the points better. Prokaryotic cells are the cells of bacteria, blue-green algae. So such simple organisms are made up of prokaryotic cells, whereas all plants and animals, all the higher organisms are made up of eukaryotic cells. So let us see the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Point number 1, size. Size is small. Prokaryotic cells are small in size, whereas eukaryotic cells are large in size. These dimensions or the size you don't have to learn, but still I'll mention. It is 1 to 10 mu m. 1 mu m is 10 raised to minus 6 meter. So you don't have to worry about that values, but just understand that prokaryotic cell will be smaller in size and eukaryotic cells will be large in size. Point number 2, very, the most important point, okay? It's a very important point, and you can see that out of all the 4 points, the second one is the most important one. nuclear region is poorly defined. It is not having any nuclear membrane due to the absence of a nuclear membrane, and such a poorly defined nuclear region you call as nucleoid. See, surrounding this one, there is no nuclear membrane. Only some genetic material is present, but there is no nuclear membrane covering the nucleus. You can see here there is no membrane, just some genetic material is present. Okay, once again I will repeat, nuclear membrane is absent, or else you can say nuclear region is poorly defined. If it has to be defined properly, there should be a membrane covering it. So that is absent. So such a nucleus or such a nuclear material you call as nucleoid. Whereas on the other hand, eukaryotic cells, the nuclear region is well defined with a proper nuclear membrane. Point number 3, single chromosome. There is only one chromosome in prokaryotic cell, whereas in eukaryotic cells, more than one chromosomes are present. Okay. Point number 4, cell organelles already we learned. These are the minute structures present in the cell, scattered in the cytoplasm. These are having membrane covering. The cell organelles are also bound by a membrane generally. But in prokaryotic cells, such membrane covering or such membrane covered cell organelles are absent. But these are present in eukaryotic cells. See here, you can find the nucleus is covered by a membrane. Here the nuclear membrane is not present. And here so many cell organelles you can find. But those are absent in the case of prokaryotic cells. So these are the 4 differences. So I'll summarize it once again. And if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay. So again, we are starting with the first point. First point, prokaryotic cells. So in order to avoid confusion, remember P, primitive, old, prokaryotic. Okay, whereas new you can think. It is not the correct meaning, but what I'm saying is so that you can remember. So the new ones, they have a properly defined nuclear membrane. The nucleus is well defined. And the prokaryotic primitive forms. So they don't have a well defined nucleus. Okay, this point or this term you can remember so that you won't interchange the points and write. So starting with the first point again, size is small in prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cells are large in size. Then we will see the third and fourth point and then we'll come back to second point. Only single chromosome. Here more than one chromosomes. Eukaryotic cells have many chromosomes, whereas only one is present in prokaryotic cell. And membrane bound organelles absent in prokaryotic cell, present in eukaryotic cells. Then the second and the most important point, nuclear region poorly defined. No nuclear membrane, and you call such a nuclear region as nucleoid. Nucleoid. Be thorough with the spelling and the word nucleoid. Nucleoid means what? A poorly defined nuclear region without a nuclear membrane. Whereas the nuclear region is well defined. Here it was poorly defined. Here it is well defined, surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Examples I told you already. Bacteria is a typical example for prokaryotic cell, whereas all the higher plants and animals, all the other plants and animals except bacteria, blue-green algae will come under prokaryotic cells. And prokaryote means organism made up of prokaryotic cell. Eukaryotes means organisms made up of eukaryotic cells. Any doubt, children? Any doubts? Do you have any doubts? Okay,
No, ma'am.
so quickly summarize the points. Who will start? Who will start? Lynette, first point.
Ma'am, prokaryotic cells are generally small than eukaryotic cells.
Okay.
Eukaryotic
Yes,
cells are
yes.
larger.
Yes, good. Then Vaishnavi, another point.
Ma'am, it is in prokaryotic cells, it is single chromosomes.
Single
And in the-
chromosome. And in
And
eukaryotic
eukaryotic
cells?
more than one chromosome.
Very good. Then who is going to say the next point? Advait, another point. Advait, another point.
A nuclear region is poorly defined due to absence of a
Don't read, Advait. I want you to say without looking. Let it be wrong, no problem. Yes.
A nuclear region is poorly defined due to the absence of
Nuclear membrane.
nuclear membrane,
Then,
known as nucleoid.
very good. What about our eukaryotes? Nuclear
Nuclear
membrane.
region are well defined.
Very good. And what do they have? Nuclear
Membrane.
membrane. Very good. Which is the last point? Which is the last point?
Membrane bound
Membrane bound organelles are
present in eukaryotic cells and absent in prokaryotic cells.
very good. Very
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.